It's so terrible, Dad! Please, text me back the moment you see this message.
What's wrong? You seem flustered. Did something happen?
Mom's really sick all of a sudden. She collapsed in the bathroom.
She did? What's wrong with her? What happened to her?
She said she's way overworked and super exhausted.
Overworked? What do you mean?
She's been working way too much. I heard her scream when she was taking a shower earlier, and I went in to check on her to see if she was okay. I found her slumped against the wall. She had gotten out of the shower but slipped and fell, and was too weak to stand.
Oh my god. Did you call an ambulance?
Yeah, I did. They took her to the hospital, and I went with her. She seems okay, though, for now. The doctor said she can go home tomorrow.
Good. I'm glad she's not seriously hurt or anything. Tell me the name of the hospital. I'm going to come to see her right now.
You can't. Visiting hours are over for today. But it might be better if you don't come to see her at all.
Why shouldn't I come see her? I'm worried about her. I should at least check on her. I want to see how she's doing.
No way! Mom said she's sick because of you. She said she never wants to see you again.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything to her.
I messaged you because I have to tell you something. The money you've been sending isn't anywhere near enough for her and I to live on, and she's been struggling to make ends meet. She's been working all the time, and it's starting to affect her health.
How is it not enough? Did she tell you that? I've been sending more than enough each month to support you. I've even been sending extra when she asks for it.
Well, it's not cutting it. You've never actually cared about us, have you? You don't actually know how much money you need to raise a kid.
I do, which is why I was sending as much as I have been. I've been doing everything I could to support you two.
Well, it's not enough. I bet you thought you were sending enough, didn't you? No wonder Mom left you. You're totally oblivious to what it takes to support a family. I honestly don't blame her.
I'm doing my best. It's been hard since she walked out on me and demanded we lived separately. I still don't understand what she's thinking.
That's no surprise. You really don't care about us at all, do you? You send us barely anything, because you don't care even a little bit.
I really do care about you and your mother. I'm telling you. Even though we're living apart. I've always wanted us to live together again as a family.
I don't want to live together with you ever again. I hate you, Dad.
Are you trying to be a rebel, Rebecca? You're being really harsh, especially to me.
I'm not rebelling. I'm mad because you made Mom sick. It's all your fault that she's sick and overworked. She's been spending all this time depressed because of you.
Is she really that bad off? I'm sorry for not paying more attention. I promise I'll do better. I'll start sending more money starting next month.
Maybe you should have done something earlier. If I hadn't said anything, you wouldn't have noticed at all, would you? You're a failure as a husband and as a father. You're barely even my dad. Mom is the only one who's even a parent to me.
Please don't say that. I love you, Rebecca. I'm trying my hardest. How about we go out together? Why don't we go together to the aquarium as a family? You used to like the dolphin show they have, right?
Really? Do you think I'm still in elementary school? I don't care about the aquarium or the dolphin show. It's so boring. Anyway, I don't want to go anywhere with you. I don't even want to think about it.
You really hate the idea of being with me?
If you send us enough money, maybe Mom and I will go by ourselves instead. We might actually enjoy it. You should just stay out of our lives and send us the money you owe us. Maybe you should send us extra to make up for it.
Don't say that. I want to do whatever I can. I'm not lying when I say I still want to make up with you and your mother and have us all live together again.
Don't bother. I don't want any of that.
I didn't want to break up with your mother. She's the one who left me. I wonder if she'd ever let me come back.
I don't know. That's all up to you now, isn't it? How late are you working today, Dad? I need to see you face to face.
What happened? You made it seem like you didn't even want to breathe the same air as me, let alone see me in person. Is there an emergency? Is something wrong?
I would never say that. That's so cruel. It's urgent, really. We need to talk about Mom.
Is your mother sick again? I can't give you more money than I already am. I barely have enough myself. No matter how much you ask, I really just can't do it.
I'm not asking for money or anything like that. When have I ever asked for money from you?
Wasn't it you who asked before? A few days ago? You said Mom was working too hard because the money I was sending wasn't enough.
What? I definitely didn't say that. Are you sure you're not thinking of someone else? I have no idea about how much money you've been sending us.
What are you talking about? You texted me 3 days ago.
No, I definitely didn't.
I'm telling you, I got messages from you the other day. Scroll up to see the chat history.
I didn't even have my phone 3 days ago. Mom took my phone away a few months ago. She probably figured out my code and got into my messages. It had to have been Mom who messaged you.
Would she really do that?
She took my phone from me because she said I was being irresponsible with it. But I figured out where she was hiding it, and the moment I found it, I messaged you. Now is the only time I can text you because she's out of the house for a little while. Though she's basically never here.
Hang on a second. So you swear you weren't the one I was texting the other day?
Yes! I promise it wasn't me. Mom must have been impersonating me and messaging you. If you got any messages from my phone in the last few weeks, don't believe any of it. She's sneaky and deleted everything she wrote to you pretending to be me.
I can't believe she would do that. What's going through her head?
I really don't know. I swear I'm telling the truth, though. I would never say anything awful to you. I love you so much, Dad. I miss seeing you every day.
That's what I figured. I knew something felt off. I thought you might just be having a rebellious teen moment. I'm sorry I didn't notice earlier.
Please try to pay more attention. She's trying to trick you.
I'm sorry. But why would she do this? Why would she pretend to be you?
She wants more money. She's been talking about it for ages now. Probably at least over a year. She comes home late every night complaining about how you never give her enough and how she can't live her life with the pocket change you let her have. But she spends it all before she buys anything we actually need. It's really awful.
We definitely should talk in person. You need to get away from her. I'm off work at 6. Can you meet then?
Yeah, I can. I have softball practice until around 5:30.
Good. Don't go home. Wait for me at school. I'll come get you after work.
Hey, what are you up to, Dad? Are you trying to starve us?
Why would I do that? I'd never try to starve you. What do you mean?
Where's this month's payment? You should have sent it yesterday, but the account is still empty. Why didn't you send it on time?
Well, I've been giving it a lot of thought.
It's your fault Mom isn't well. Do you really hate her that much? I can't stand you. If you really do care about us, pay up right now, before she gets even worse.
Oh, someone will pay.
Yeah, you. You better pay or I'll never come meet you again. You're the one who should pay. You're the absolute worst. Do you not hear what your daughter is asking of you? You're such an awful father.
My daughter? What do you mean, my daughter? Who are you? My daughter is right here beside me.
What's that supposed to mean? I'm your daughter.
We're reading this chat together. Hello, Karen. Why on earth are you pretending to be Rebecca?
What's going on?
That's what I want to know. Explain yourself.
You weren't sending enough money. So we were struggling to survive. I thought if I pretended to be Rebecca, the conversation would go easier and you'd send more right away.
Rebecca told me that you're lying. The reason it's not enough is because you've been spending it all irresponsibly. You really love drinking and gambling, don't you? You have some nasty habits.
No, I don't. What are you talking about? That's not true at all.
You blew $700 all on alcohol and slots alone. You couldn't even buy our daughter's school supplies because you spent all the money. She told me she had to write her notes for school on paper towels. I don't send you money to throw away like that and not spend on important things. I'm surprised you can even afford to pay rent.
You don't think that I know that?
And on top of impersonating Rebecca, you planned on swindling me out of even more money. I have to hand it to you. You're quite the fraudster.
What do you suggest I was supposed to do? It's stressful being a single mother these days. I was just trying to relax a bit. I need to de-stress. You'd never understand, though. What do you know about raising a kid on your own?
What do you mean, single mother? We're not divorced yet, though. This isn't about you and Rebecca. It's only about you. You only care about yourself. No one else. And anyway, doing whatever you want isn't exactly stressful. Rebecca's decided she wants to come back to live with me to get away from you.
Absolutely not. I won't let her do it. I won't let her leave.
By the way, out of curiosity, why exactly did you walk out on me? Were you really that dissatisfied with our marriage?
Of course I was. You never paid us even a little bit of attention. All you did was work. And when you got home, you would eat dinner and go straight to bed. I was raising Rebecca on my own, even when we were living together.
Rebecca never said anything about not being paid any attention. I would always take her out places, to the mall or the park. I spent way more time with her than you're making it seem. It's true, I've always been really busy at work. But Rebecca sure doesn't seem to think I'm neglectful. If anything, it was you who wasn't paying her any attention.
She's the only one who thinks that. She's a kid. She doesn't know anything.
According to her, you're the real problem here. You're the one who's hardly ever home. Rebecca says you hardly ever have food for her. It seems like you're the one acting like a child, saying all this crazy stuff. Before I go on, do you want to try to stand up for yourself?
I'm trying to. I was desperate. Why do I even bother? Whatever I say doesn't matter. You'll never understand.
You're not working either, are you? How long have you been unemployed? Since we separated, right? Are you really that desperate? Are you really trying at all?
Shut up! I have a lot of problems right now. You don't even understand.
You've already given up, haven't you? Rebecca is coming back to live with me. I'll actually take care of her, unlike you.
I'll never allow it. Never. Give her back right now.
You're not even able to take care of yourself, let alone another person. You just want to take advantage of her and use her as a way to get money off me so you can keep wasting your days at the casino. She's not going back to live with you.
What are you talking about? When did I ever take advantage of Rebecca?
Wow, did you already forget? You pretended to be her to squeeze more money out of me. You thought if Rebecca was the one who asked, you could get more money from me. You used her as a pawn. You pretended to say all these awful things to guilt me into funding your habit.
That's not true at all. I just needed more to pay the bills so I could buy her things. I thought if it was Rebecca talking to you, it'd go more smoothly.
I really don't care about the reason why you did it. You making it about her doesn't really change anything. You are going to use all of the money for yourself. We're getting a divorce as soon as I find a lawyer. I was hoping to go back to living as a family, but now I'm done with you and all of this. There's no way that's happening now.
Come on, Ken. Didn't you say before you wanted me back? That we should live together as a happy family again? Where did that all go? We were so happy before we split up. Don't you want to feel that again? Don't you want to go back to how it was when we were together?
I definitely don't have any interest in going back to the way things were. Even then, you barely did anything. You microwaved frozen food and called it cooking. And the house was a mess. You told me you'd take care of all of it, but I ended up doing it all in the middle of the night. If anyone is the single parent here, it's me. I was the breadwinner and house husband all at once, and supported you and Rebecca too. Rebecca and I are both in agreement about this. We don't want to end up getting used by you all over again. It would be best if we just got divorced as soon as possible.
I'm never getting a divorce. Definitely not. You better give her back. I'll fight you for as long as it takes.
You barely feed her. All you do is drink and gamble all day. All you have to do to be a responsible parent is pay attention to your child every once in a while. It's not that hard.
Rebecca is lying through her teeth. I take perfectly good care of her. I'm not blowing the money like she says.
Why would Rebecca lie?
She's trying to be a rebel. She's been so rebellious lately.
I'd rebel too if I were in her shoes. I'd be angry if my mom was like this.
What do you mean, like this?
Honestly, a scumbag. You're a degenerate, and there's no other way to say it. You waste all your money messing around and try to trick me out of more. What I send you is enough to live off, isn't it? I send you almost all of my paycheck and live in a tiny apartment just to get by. You should be able to get by just fine with what you get. It's more than enough to afford a huge apartment and new clothes for the both of you every month.
That's not true at all. It's definitely not enough. I have to work my hands to the bone to survive.
All right, then tell me how you use the money I send you every month. Prove it to me.
Do I look like an accountant? I don't keep track of every dime I spend. I don't know how I spend money each month.
Then why exactly isn't it enough? Don't you keep a budget? You could at least look it up in your bank statement.
I'm not showing you my bank statement. That's private information. It's not enough because I say it isn't enough.
This is going absolutely nowhere. I'm done with this conversation. Rebecca's going to be living here from now on. I'll get the divorce proceedings started. Maybe you should hire a lawyer so you can send them your complaints and they can send them to mine. I'll start getting all the paperwork ready. Expect it soon.
You better not do any of that. I'm warning you. I'll call the police. I'll tell them you've kidnapped Rebecca.
We're not divorced yet. I still have all my parental rights. Even if they do come here, they have no reason to arrest me. They'll agree that it's better to keep her away from a mother that doesn't even bother to properly feed her.
Mom, it's Rebecca. I'm gonna live with Dad from now on. Rebecca, why would you say this all of a sudden? Do you not want to be with me? With your mother? If I'm with you, my life will just get worse and worse. And it was already terrible to begin with. Dad actually bothers to take care of me, unlike you. He's already bought me all the school supplies I need. We're even going on a trip next month. What are you even saying? Have you forgotten all the things I've done for you? You ungrateful little brat. What do you mean? What have you done for me? What are you even talking about? You had every opportunity to take care of me and be a good mother. You just treated me like a nuisance. My friends' dogs have a better life than me. That's not true at all.
I was trying to support us both on my own. You're too young. You don't understand how the world works.
If we spent the money from Dad on important stuff, we could have been just fine. But instead, all you did is spend your whole day at the casino and never even thought about looking for a job. You never cooked a single meal or even gave me money for food. The only reason I didn't starve is because of the free lunch program at school.
What do you mean? There was always food in the fridge.
Yeah, and the food was always rotten. And if I tried to eat whatever you bought for yourself, you'd yell at me. If I had to choose between you and Dad, I'd definitely choose Dad, which is exactly what I've done. I wish my friends didn't know about you. It's so embarrassing.
What about me is embarrassing?
Absolutely everything! Your entire life! I would always hope our neighbors would never walk by and see you. Did you even know one day the debt collector showed up when you weren't home? I was so scared, but they didn't leave me alone. I had to call the cops, but even then they came back.
Of course I knew that, and I dealt with it.
Yeah, but only after they threatened to kidnap me. Ugh, I just can't think about it anymore. I don't want to see you again. I don't even want to be in the same room as you.
I'm your own mother. How could you possibly say something so cruel to me? You awful, ungrateful little child. Rebecca, you better respond. Rebecca left to go to the bathroom. She's done talking to you for good. I actually didn't know about the debt collectors. That's low. I bet the only reason you paid them off is because you knew I'd stop sending you money if you let anything happen to her.
She's lying. They weren't debt collectors. It was the electrical company. I was late on some bills.
I'm sure they came too.
Don't listen to her!
And I should listen to you instead? After you lied to me for years? Anyway, this will be our last conversation on this topic. You can speak to my lawyer from here on out. You should probably hire one yourself.
You expect me to hire a lawyer? With what money?
You'll figure it out. Maybe con your parents into it. I won't be giving you the money, that's for sure. And neither will Rebecca, though she won't want to talk to you anyway. It really sucks to be rejected by your own kid, huh? Now you know how I felt when you pretended to be her. You should have gotten the divorce papers by now. Did you even bother to hire a lawyer?
You're making a huge mistake. Just throwing me away like this is so cruel of you. You're pure evil. The both of you.
Do you still not get it? You're in no state to be able to take care of Rebecca. I'm sure the court will agree. I have no desire to stay married to you.
You're being so selfish. Why won't you let me see Rebecca? I went to her school and even they wouldn't let me see her.
Of course not. You're trying to kidnap her. You're lucky I haven't gotten a restraining order. I've been picking her up and dropping her off to keep her away from you. I've told her to never be alone, not even for a second. My parents are helping me too, to keep her away from you.
Really? Everyone's trying to take my child away from me. I have rights too, you know.
That's for a court to decide, but I don't think you have much hope there. Rebecca has already said she doesn't want to go back to you. If you want to see her again, you should get a job and get yourself together. After all, I'm sure you're broke. Assuming you haven't already gambled and drank it all away, you've got to be out of money by now. If seeing Rebecca isn't enough motivation for you, maybe money will be.
Why are you being like this? I'm trying my best. I'm doing everything I can, but you're making my life miserable.
I hope you are, for your sake. Though I'm not sure what I have to do with any of it. I shouldn't have to say this, but just to be clear, Rebecca and I don't want to see you again. But you were the one who wanted to live apart in the first place. So, you're getting what you wanted. If you don't want to live together, There's no way we can stay married. And at this point, I'm not sure I really care.
What do you mean, getting what I wanted? It wasn't my fault we ended up living apart.
It really was, though. Rebecca told me about how your wasteful spending got even worse right after you moved out. The moment you left, you started doing whatever you wanted, wasting all your money. That was always the plan, wasn't it? I was just an obstacle in the way of your happiness.
You're wrong. Why are you trying to make me look like the bad guy? Everyone will see how awful you really are.
You're so paranoid. It's not a good look. Maybe you should seek some therapy. That's something I might be willing to pay for if it keeps you away from us. All you do is keep talking like it's going to help, but it won't at this point.
Are you really going to leave me on my own? You're awful. Just leaving me like this? My life is ruined because of you. It's all your fault. I'm gonna end up on the street because of you!
No, it's because you blew all the money I gave you after you left. That was all you, wasn't it? If you had spent it on rent and food for our daughter, maybe we could have kept this going. I didn't like living apart, never seeing my child, but I thought it was for the best, for her sake. But you took advantage of my guilt over being busy at work and tricked me into funding your lifestyle while you neglected Rebecca. Why am I even saying any of this? There's really no point in trying to talk to people like you. Give up the act. Take some responsibility for yourself. Act like an adult for once.
Are you really going to leave me here and go on with your life? Leave me all alone like this? You turned her against me. Having your own daughter hate you? There's nothing worse. Can't you sympathize with me even a little?
Sympathize with what? Aren't we the real victims here? Me and Rebecca. We don't know what's going to happen to you, and that's fine by me. It's all up to you now. After that, the divorce was finalized, and Rebecca and I were happier than we had ever been. For Rebecca's safety, we moved to a town a little ways away, to get away from her mother and so she could change schools. Her new school was a lot further away. It was unfortunate that she had to take a bus rather than walk like she used to, but she got used to it. All the kids at her old school kept saying awful things about her mother. Her classmates kept seeing Karen stumbling around town, dead drunk. She kept getting teased for having a mother who was the town alcoholic. All because of her mom. She was getting bullied at school. I thought it would be better for her to move somewhere else and start life over in a healthier environment. Her new life, biking to school and all, really seemed to put her at ease, and was a big relief for the both of us. She's made a ton of new friends, and kept some of her old ones. They've helped her with her new life, and are even planning on going to the same college. As for my terrible ex, she ended up moving back home with her parents at 40. It was a nasty divorce, but the judge didn't need much convincing of Karen's bad habits and manipulative ways. It took only 10 minutes of reading the chats and reviewing the bank statements for her to make a decision. I got full custody of Rebecca, and Karen got barely anything. After the divorce, I heard things only got worse. She got arrested for being drunk and disorderly at a park by her old house. After that, she got kicked out of her apartment and had to move home. She was unemployed for months even after moving home, and spent all her time still messing around on her parents' dime. But her parents sent her to rehab, and she's better now, I think. Now that she's out, her parents made her get a job and are watching her day and night to make sure she's working enough to pay child support. She still won't admit she's at fault, and she still claims she's the real victim. She's never apologized to Rebecca, and Rebecca doesn't want to see her again. I plan on respecting Rebecca's wishes. I hope my ex-wife can figure out how to love her child and become a good parent again.